take.
Oh, it is a Fashion Wednesday, so we are chilling on the couch of courage with Miss Tracy Lee Rosalind, and we are going to be chatting about fashion trends. Welcome back again. It's always good to see. I love this.
You know this is
Guys,
Africa.
you should see how Tracy transforms when she gets here. Hey, like.
That's the beauty of fashion. Eh?
I know, I love it. The beauty of fashion in Miss Jane's beat.
You know.
Of
exactly.
course. All right, so we are talking fashion, Namhlanje.
Yes, we are.
Tell us a bit about what we're talking about.
Well, today we're talking about pop culture and the fact that it has such an impact on fashion and how trends have migrated from 2015 to 2014 to 2016 and how it all mixes and how it all ends up being the same thing but different every single year.
Now, every single year, every single generation has its defining fashion pieces or fashion trend. So if we take a look way back, we've got bell bottoms, and then we move on, we've got the neons, then we've got denim, and then we move on after that as well, you know. So tell us, what do you think is probably going to be the defining fashion statements or fashion trends within our generation?
Well, I would say the beauty of our generation is we have become global citizens. So I find that we are focused on a lot more variety of trends than one specific trend. So when we were in the 70s or in the 60s, where it was that bell bottom, there's only like maybe 4 or 5 featured trends. At the moment, there's 1,000 different trends that you can go on. So I think the beauty of our generation is going to be Generation I, the generation that defines fashion through self. And
we're celebrating individuality nowadays, so it's absolutely beautiful. But let's take a look at some of the years that we have recently gone through. So let's start maybe with 2014.
Well, 2014, I would say, was the year where was the resurgence of the 90s revival, where we found all of those sorts of trends. We started off seeing a lot of jumpsuits, which is really, really popular. We then move on to our next slide, which is there's lots of ponchos, and as you can see, that Aztec print. It was basically the start of where people started going quite traditional and more tribal with regards to fashion and prints, because it's fashion is evolving, and like we said, there's a more of a global stage. It's easier for people to see trends that maybe they weren't aware of before, like the Maasai print that's now a global phenomenon. All of these sorts of things. So these are all things that we started seeing in 2014. If we move on to our next slide, you'll see this is kind of where we had the meeting point between 2014 and 2015, where the 90s fashion started meeting with the 70s revival, which started in 2015, where we started seeing all those boho chic trends and that 70s inspired vibes. If we move on to our next image, we'll see here, once again, very much in the 90s with that cape kind of feel, and then also moving towards androgynous fashion, where it is more tuxedo style fitted trends for women. And then it goes on into 2015 in our next slide, where you'll see we're going into more of the boho fashion look. You can also see it's a lot more comfortable. It's
a lot more comfortable.
Yes, it's a lot more comfortable, more freeing, again, prints and patterns, lots of frills and head accessories. If we move on to our next slide, you'll see also something that you spoke of earlier was the denim trend. Now they've taken the denim trend and we're going back to dungarees.
I remember wearing dungarees when I was 2 years old, guys.
Exactly.
I actually need to get myself another pair.
Precisely, and the beauty of our generation is we are customizing everything. Like I said, it's all about it's how you feel, what you want the dungaree to represent. So there's a lot more acid type of acid effects on the denims, a lot more different types of cuts. If you go on to our next slide, we'll see this, to me, was the biggest standout trend in 2015, sports luxe.
And I mean, especially with South African celebrities having their own ranges of such things.
Precisely, and this started seeing the dawn of major sportswear labels collaborating with major couture houses. And also major celebrities that have got a very big foot in the door with regards to fashion. It's where sport meets high-end fashion, and I love it.
I know you love it.
I was never really a sneaker person, to be honest, and 2015 was my year of sneakers with my outfits, so I actually thank you, Sports Luxe. You saved my ankles.
All right, so let's move on.
Our next slide is plus size fashion meets the 70s. Now, plus size fashion went huge in 2015, and I'm so happy. Body shapes has got nothing to do with style and fashion, and I absolutely love the fact that it's giving a spotlight to all sorts of body types.
And promoting self-love.
And promoting self-love, because at the end of the day, it's human beings wearing the clothing, and that first, we always talk about confidence and loving yourself. It's what gives the outfit life. 2015 also saw the first time plus size models were on New York fashion runways, so that's amazing. Our next slide, Let's see what we have next. Our final side. This is a perfect representation of 2016, where we find that we've got that same color palette of the 70s, which was your earthy tones, which then became monochrome. They take the platinum out, so now we're looking at your nudes, your greens, your beiges, all of those sorts of things.
And things like the nude lip are very popular as well.
Exactly. So all of these things all tie in together, that androgynous look, walking us right into 2017.
Awesome stuff. Speaking about that nude lip, Miss Jane Ann Wilson is going to be giving us the makeup lowdown a little bit later on in the show. Hectic.